This is a nice view of the park. It is nice and tranquil out here. So here's a view of the mighty Verdigris River.
You look well, haven't talked in a long time. Oh yeah, it's been so long, feels like the first time.
Alright, here we are at Rogers State Park. So this is a sign. And then I think there's some housing for the University of Tulsa women's row team. They have their equipment in there, or over there. And then you come in off the highway from there. If you blink, you'll miss it, so watch that. And then they have two old bridges here, which is neat. Do a little roundabout here. So we'll head down that way and park and then take a look. And then when you're leaving, if you're going west, you're going to go this way. So you can't really go that way and then go west because there's a barrier there. So remember that. And there's a frisbee golf hole right there. So that's neat. Right. So here I am at this park. And I parked right there where everybody can park. And you can see there is signage for, I guess this is Twin Bridges Park. I don't know. There's a 16-hole disc golf course, which is neat. And you come in from up there. So I am going to walk in the woods a little bit and just do a little bit of exploring. I already know a little bit about this park in that there's not a ton to it as far as like jungle gyms and nature trails and things like that. Best part about this park is it kind of borders the Verdigris River. All right, so along this park, there are some streams or kind of creeks or whatever. And so I think that's what this is. And so I can probably walk a ways to get to that landing right there. This water looks pretty still. I'm gonna say this is a stream. And it's been cold, so it's probably frozen actually. It's been quite cold here, but like I said, there's not much to it. But again, I'm one of those people that says nature does not have to be dressed up. And I, strongly believe that. I don't need a bunch of plastic tubes and, those things are all well and good. But just to walk through the woods and brush is good enough for me. So, all right. So as you can see, that's one of the disc golf holes there. So I'm not going to show you every hole, but I'll show you some. But yeah, this is very quiet here. It's right off the highway. So that's pretty neat. Don't have to travel too far. You can get right back on if you're going on like a family trip or something, or just coming back into town. You want to stretch your legs through some nature. You can do that. And there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. So forgive me if I miss places. Every time I film a park, somebody's like, you missed this whole half, or that's what coming to the park and seeing it for yourself is for. I'm just showing you little highlights, and this won't be the last time I'll come out here. So I love when you go to different parks and things, and you might have missed something the first time, or it looks different in the spring, and it's just like meeting someone new, so I like that. That water is frozen, so at least the top is, so you're not going to see any movement on the top. But we'll walk this way. This is very beautiful. All right. So coming down here, there's a landing, and you got this rack here. But anyway, this would be a great place to bring a canoe out or a kayak So we'll get the old views going here. So as you can see, that is the mighty Verdigris. She has been lulled to sleep by the cold. So, but this is pretty sweet. You can still see a little bit of ice here, even though the water may not be frozen. That's neat. Woo, it's cold. Feel the breeze coming off of that water. Yep. But it is nice and tranquil out here. You can see there's a little walkway down. That was probably where you had to push off with your mud boots before they built this little platform. So kind of floats and suspended on the water. And then if you have a truck and you want to back up to the water, you can do it there. So she's pretty though. One thing I will say before I get back up to land is that thank you to the University of Tulsa for this. I've been to some lakes, and they're decent sized lakes and reservoirs where they don't have this, and they may have something like that, but you know, if it's spring or summer and there's trucks down there and you have a kayak or a canoe on top of your car, you know, because you have it mounted on top of your car, it's tough because then you should have mud boots anyway, but you really don't want to wear those in a kayak, at least, maybe in a canoe if you're fishing or whatever. But this is very nice because then you can just carry your kayak or canoe down and get in the water, and especially if you're by yourself too, you know, it's very, very nice. Right. So this is the view kind of from the boat ramp here. So obviously there's two sides, so you know, you can do your thing there, and then we'll walk this way. There are picnic tables and little stations all around here. Now these are small and there aren't really grills out here, so more picnicky light lunch kind of thing. I guess you could bring a little portable grill if you have a charcoal grill, or even a propane grill if you have the truck. Just bring it out. So you could park here and do your thing. So it just sucks that those are kind of far apart and spaced out like that, because if you have like multiple families, I guess you could bring a tent. There are not very many amenities out here, and I don't know where the bathrooms are out here. I think they're up that away, but we'll see. All right, and so here we get another view of the mighty Verdigris River. So you could probably make your way down and through here. Yeah, there's the highway up there, but we'll take this little trail carved out. And, you know, this might be a decent little fishing hole. If you're, ooh, oh God, there's thorns. There's always thorns. Anyway, you can get down there close to the water. I guess I'll go down there and show you all, and then I'll make my departure, but it's a little bit secluded if you kind of wanted to get away. Okay, so we're not going down there. It is super muddy, and I did not wear my boots. We're gonna come back up here, but this is a nice view of the park. Pan a little slowly for you. Excuse the blinding sunlight, but so here's a view of the mighty Verdigris River. It's beautiful. It's not the largest, most majestic body of water, but it is quite nice. And you can see in this larger, wider part of the Verdigris River, it is flowing. So Looks very nice. We're gonna head up this way and see if there are restrooms up here, which I believe there are. So it's a little bit more open here. You can make your way down. Probably want to have on some boots or some shoes with a little bit more grip, especially if it's muddy, fall into the water. But yep. All right, folks, there you have it. Now I'm sure you can kind of walk down and into the woods a little bit, but this isn't a huge park. The river and small creeks are gonna kind of border off here, so there's not like, you could walk the river kind of if you climb down there, but there's not like a trail. And there's more of the same with these little rest areas, these little picnic areas. But in this area, it is a little bit more rural, so people tend to have trucks and grills. And if you're gonna go fishing, you probably bring your own grill, and if you're skilled enough, you can clean it and cook it right then and there. Last but not least, we'll check these bathrooms. I think they're probably gonna be padlocked for the winter. Hopefully. There's not really a homeless population around here because there's nothing here. Like, there's like rest stops and things, you know, like 3-4 miles that way, and then some things probably about 5, 6, 7 miles that way. So one of the good things about this park is you're not going to have a ton of stragglers because there's not resources out here. You can't come to this park and then make it to downtown. So, ooh, and this bathroom is open and it smells really, really bad. Yeah, so, yeah. Yep, I wouldn't sit on that toilet. And I don't even know if that's a latrine or not. But I'm sure some park ranger or nice volunteer opens and closes that. Can't fault them for the condition. But yeah, and you have some lights out here. Not the greatest place at night, but very, very nice. One last thing I will say is that there is an abundance of open space here. So in the summertime, these trees will have leaves. And if you have a family, you guys can play catch over there. There's fields over there, all throughout here. And in this area, there aren't frisbee golf goals, so you don't have to worry about getting hit. So, all right, so we're kind of exiting the park. And so, as you can see, the park there's a bit more to it. I didn't show you all of this, but you know, the woods is right here. So you can explore this area, you know, have a little picnic in there, even though it is kind of a frisbee golf thing. But back to the exiting of the park. So we're going under the highway bridge because we need to go west, and it kind of loops around. So this is neat. I like this. Now there is a little stop area for big rigs and stuff, so you'll notice them appear to be turning into the park when they're not. So that's a little rest stop area. Even though there's one entrance to the park, you have to be going east to enter the park. You can leave the park and go either east or west. So that is quite neat and very helpful. So we'll get going on our way back to Tulsa.